Anyway, boom. So quickly, yeah. I know I've voice noted you about this before, and don't ask me why it came to my mind, but I just wanted to have this conversation anyway. Yeah. Like, I think maybe this might have more come from, like my great grandmother's 100 years old, whatnot. Yeah. And then obviously you hear loads of things just in life, like people dying or whatever. Yeah. And I just thought I want to have a quick conversation about death.
Mental.
It's mad, isn't it?
When I got the voice note, I was in, I don't know. I didn't know what to think, so I just agreed.
Now, there was a reason actually for why I wanted. What was the reason again? I can't even remember exactly. It will come to me in a bit, yeah. But it was just that whole. Okay, this is exactly what it was. So, what year are we in?
Now?
Yeah.
2018.
All right. So, at a point, the world or whoever started counting the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So there was years before that.
Yeah.
But now, there's 2018 years that have been counted.
I know. After
Yeah.
AD, we are.
AD. Yeah. Right. So that's 2018 years that have gone by. Yeah. Right. So before us, or before all of this, there was 2000 years or 2018 years and more, exactly, of life.
Yeah.
Right. And things were completely different.
And they're all dead.
And they're all dead.
Yeah.
But then you also think, yeah, that if human beings don't fuck this shit up, because it's likely that it could happen, but there might be another 2018 years ahead.
I can't see it, bro. Have you seen Interstellar? You seen any of them Will Smith films?
Oh yeah,
We've got not many years left.
Really, yeah?
We can't do. We can't. We might even be the last generation.
Don't say that.
Bro, this one.
Do you know what? I like that.
Huh?
No, I don't like it. Let me take that back. Let me take that back. But you know, I actually had this conversation with imagine this, yeah. I had a conversation with some girl at night about this, and this must have freaked her out. But I was like, you know what? If it meant, yeah, that boom, the whole world was just gonna just explode one time and everybody dead,
yeah,
I could deal with that.
It's a vibe still.
I could deal with that.
Yeah.
Because there's no grief. I can't grieve.
Yeah.
And I can't go through a whole, we're all dead. We're all done. Yeah. And we all go together. Yeah. So it's like we can celebrate it if we know it's coming.
No, it's like
Or we could just sit at home and just with our loved ones and do all of that stuff. But we know that it's going to come and we all go together. Uh-huh. The hardest bit is everybody just going down one by one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad.
But yeah, go on. Sorry, anyway, what was you saying about the Will Smith movies and that?
I'm just saying, he's been warning us about this end of the world stuff. I Am Legend and the rest of the films, all of them. He's been warning us about all these. We have done this to ourselves. So I personally don't see that there's another 2018 years on this planet.
Do you ever think about? Have you ever thought about?
Well, I'll tell you what I do think about. Yeah, like they say, like I did a documentary once with in the first studio with why has his name escaped me? The most legendary like documentary guy on BBC ever.
Oh, what? What's his name?
With the best voice.
He's got
like he does animal stuff.
David Attenborough.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have no idea how that escaped me. Cool. And they're basically he did a documentary, a voiceover, and basically they've come to the conclusion, or like the founders of Google, like the people at Google and the people that research and stuff say that our optimum population for this globe is 2 billion. Now we've clean gone past that. We're closer to 8 billion now.
Yeah, okay.
So, but a lot of that has accelerated in the last 50 and 100 years. So it's like, it's kind of been doing that.
Why is that? How is that?
Well, in terms of natural resources to humans.
Yeah.
So, like, the world can kind of provide enough for us and then kind of rejuvenate in order to always provide enough for us at around 2 billion people.
But we're past that.
We're clean past that. But also, like, the way that we're, like, increasing in population, where it's not steady like that. It was steady like that for, like, thousands of years or hundreds of years. And then it's just done that. Spiked. And it's just going mad. People are obviously living a bit longer.
Yeah.
Plus people are having more children, etc., etc. Like, the world's overpopulating. And because of it, we're running out of natural resources, which means we get stuff like plastic rice.
Yeah, of course.
I saw the other day. Everything's plastic. Everything's fake.
Or they're like pumping water into the chickens and shit like that.
So, and because of it, like, this earth, and obviously we're at this acceleration now, we're kind of in this kind of PC part of the world as well now, where you can't even tell anyone anything. You can't tell anyone, like in China, that you can only have 2 children for the next 100 years. They'll be like, well, it's my right to have 10 children if I want 10 children.
Well, that's because in this country and some others, we have what is called human rights, innit? So we are allowed to say, no, we can't.
However,
whereas there are some countries that
sometimes think that, like, if you look at loads of the films recently, all the horrors or all the they've kind of got like an underlying message, which is like, yeah, you lot, we've fucked up this planet still.
Yeah.
We've fucked it up, and now we need to dust and look for life elsewhere.
Doesn't Elon Musk talk about that in the Joe Rogan podcast? I ain't listened to it properly yet, but a lot of people say that.
But
a lot of people say that we're fucked. A lot of people said that he said that we're fucked, basically.
Yeah, we are, because we won't see it right now, but trust me, it's gonna start coming into play real soon. Like,
well, maybe we are seeing it though.
Maybe we are, but we're not seeing what it is going to be. So this world might not end via big dramatic explosion where we all go off it, but it's going to end in a more weird, twisted way where like it's famine and it's flipping. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing left.
Well, the thing is, there's like I heard on the news just recently, suicide, especially in London, by the way, is mad high. But I could imagine in many different parts of the world, suicide is extrememly high. So you got that element. You've got depression that seems like that is massively high. It feels like we're going to get into that Great Depression era, which is going to cause even more death or more people die. So like when I even say more death, I mean not even just suicides in that sense, but suicides or situations that happen that affect others too. So for example, I remember saying from time ago in one of the podcasts that there was this big thing about radicalizing. Remember this whole radicalizing stuff, and I was like, what the newspapers don't realize what they're doing is they're radicalizing people at the same speed as well. So you're getting these people that are reading these newspapers and thinking, oh my god, these immigrants and this, that and the other, and then they're going out and they're causing an absolute madness, which then within itself causes more death. But that taps into people's fragile mind state that makes people do crazy things. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's all another thing that goes into death. It's weird, isn't it? Because as much as you say that population is going up, which it is, the death rate seems like it must be going even more mad.
No, I'm not sure if it is.
But the death rate is climbing at a slower rate.
Okay, of course.
The problem is.
Hence
why there's more and more people.
There are more deaths. I mean, with more population, unfortunately, you're going to get more of everything. So you're going to get more good, more bad, more everything.
The numbers are going to keep going up, but it's how it compares to the rate.
Exactly. It's the comparison.
If it's the same, then if it matches.
So we're still even at this high kind of death tally, and when you say death, you don't mean death by everything, because there are more cures now than there were or whatever it was. But you're talking just like there just seems to be every time you turn on the news that it's death. Death. But since we started this conversation, like 500 people have been born. It's true. That's true. It's like it's mad.
Do you ever think about death though?
I don't think about me dying. It's not something I've ever really had to deal with, if I'm honest. So
is it? I was going to ask you that as well. Like, have you?
But I've not had people so close to me that it actually affects my life and my day-to-day like how I am. So I'm put it this way, I'm more scared now than I ever was, because I'm very aware that I've never had to deal with it, and we're now entering that phase of life where life seems to take away more than it gives you. So when you're young and everything is just giving, and you hit 30 or whatever age it might be, and all of a sudden it starts nicking people from you and nicking things. You know what I'm saying? So
does that? Do you feel like that happened more so because you got kids now as well, though?
Maybe. I think. Do you know what? I wouldn't even say I switched on so much after my son was born, but after my daughter was born, my head has slightly been in a different place, if that makes sense. So I think I see things a little bit different. So before I was always so like obviously I grew up and my parents would have said, when you go to bed, say your prayers or whatever, and you say you've done it and you've never done it and blah 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 blah. A lot of times now I'll get into bed and I'll just say thanks and I'll just do whatever, because I know this can go tits up any second. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, you can get a phone call with the worst news any second right now.
Of course. Of course.
So, and I just know it's almost delaying the inevitable. You're always going to get one of these horrible calls once in a while, but I just don't want it yet. If that makes sense.
I think it's that thing that makes me try to just enjoy people and the things that I'm around more, knowing that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Yeah. Like, it's going to happen. Like, my great grandmother is 100 years old. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's at a stage where she wants to die. Yeah. She always says, like, you know, why has the Lord kept me here so long and all of that, yeah. But and I understand, because for her, she's been an independent woman her whole life, pretty much. And then now she's at that age where most of the people that she checked for have died. Yeah. All of the people that were around her sort of age group have all gone. Yeah. She's got her family, like me, my mum, and all of that stuff. But it's like, and that's nice. Yeah. But it's like you're not able to really enjoy life the way that you once did. Which then made me think, like one day, if I was to live that long, I would probably be in that same predicament, and I'd be waiting. Yeah. I'd be waiting to die. But then also, I think that it then made me think like, of, you know, like, so when I speak to people that have had their parents pass away and all of that, I always look at some people that have had like a mum pass away or a dad pass away that they were close to, and I in some way think to myself, like, even though what you went through and what you are probably going through must be the hardest thing in life, you're showing a great amount of strength. Yeah. Because I'm close to my parents, and I always think, that's why I've even hinted it here sometimes. I'm like, well, like, you know, if my mum dies, I'm gonna need everybody around me, because that will comfortably mash me up to bits. Yeah. However, I still think about it in a way where I try to prepare for it without it being a thing of, it's gonna happen today. Like, I just enjoy the time that I have with my mum and the conversations and all of that.
As someone I know, in the summer, his mum died, unexpected as well. It's like, and it just, you know, it's the hardest thing to deal with. I can tell it's the hardest thing, but I think we underestimate our resilience, as in the way that we are able to kind of like recompose and like almost like recalibrate and put everything kind of in perspective and try and see the positives, because at some point everyone's parent dies.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? And that it's different. It has a different impact at different ages. Yeah. But eventually you come to terms with it and you accept it. But I think you have to really be like piece of it.
Yeah, it's time.
I would far rather my mum to pass away when she's 90 and I'm flipping 70 or whatever it is. Same. Because then you've seen so much life and it's almost, you understand it.
Yeah.
Even now, I'd be able to deal with it way more than I'd be able to have dealt with it 10 years ago.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Or if it was just, if it was like just sudden out of the blue now. You know, like, see, like with mine, most of my grandparents have died. My granddad is alive, but my grandparents on my Lothian side have both passed away, and I've got my granddad on my other side, But when my nan passed away, she passed away when I was in my like early 20s, and I was close to her. But the thing was with her is that she had things going on in her life and all of that, and she was pretty old, and you know, like, it's like it hurts, but you know that it's like it's on the cards, and like I think that's like a thing that makes you kind of get over that, it's still always in your heart, but you kind of get over that quickly. I had a cousin that died just a bit before, and I was with him every day. Like, that was my cousin, my close cousin. Like, there was two of us that always used to roll together. It was me, Elliot, and David. Yeah, Elliot's still my close cousin, but yeah, when David died, I would say that it was the first time for me where that really, like, it was a big punch, because it's someone you're with every day, it's someone you speak to every day. He came to my house that day, that morning, all of that stuff, and then that realization of you know that you're never going to see them again. But let me just jump a little bit. See, when we had that conversation with the urban finance, and we was talking about, you know, like saving your money a little bit, credit and all of that stuff, and then I think we went a little bit into like houses and stuff like that, no, saving for your future, you see, like, when we think about saving for our future, I think, okay, let me ask you this: when you think about saving for your future, what do you think that means? Like, how How does your brain interpret that?
I kind of do like a 5 to 10 year thing.
Okay.
So when I think of my future, I more think of my immediate than the 20 years ahead, if that makes sense. But even that, I try to keep it like every couple of years, if that makes sense. Like in my head, I can't see me dying, if that makes sense. I always feel like I'll be the one who's kind of like just survives, if that makes sense. Like I'll feel like I like when I go to bed and I say my prayers, I'll pray for everyone else and make sure everyone else is cool. But it's like I always think, don't like I'm patterned, don't worry, like I'm good, just make sure they're good kind of thing.
It's that thing of you never think it's not gonna happen to me.
Yeah.
It's like one of them ones. When I think about saving for my future, I just think about being able to save enough money to be able to live for when I'm not able to work.
Yeah.
Do you get me? But my mum says to me sometimes, like, which I hate, but I know that I will love her for later on in life, yeah. But she always says to me, just to let you know, if anything happens to me, this is there, that's there, I've got this here, and I've got that there. Yeah. Because her thing is, I ain't trying to die and leave you lot fucked up with shit or whatever it is. Yeah. So I'm going to prepare for this now. Yeah. Which I don't think a lot of people do. Because what happens is, enough people die and then everything, like all of their debts and all kinds of stuff falls on
the child,
falls onto the child or the next of kin or whatever it may be. Which is then now you probably see on Instagram or even Twitter, people are dying and there's bare GoFundMes. You know what? Can I just say this as well, yeah? See, this is a sidetrack so you can pull me back in. See, like certain roadman and that, that's on this thing hard and that, enough of them should really be doing that, saving that money for that as well, because there's hella racks to the ears and that, hella racks to the ears and that. But when a man dies and that, it's GoFundMes. It's something's not weighing up. So just keep the stash and the 10 bags, 20 bags, 50 bags, however much. Keep that aside and just let Marjay know if anything happens to me, send me off with horses, couple roses and flowers and all of these things, and just pattern me up nicely so that you don't have to pay for it. Because more time their mums are still living in council estate and don't have money. Do you get me?
This is why it's like having even health insurance. It's important. You see what I'm saying? It's meant to cover you for a lot of this stuff. This is stuff that I've meant to do, that I literally have said to myself, do it now. And still, to this day, I haven't done it. So
I ain't got life insurance.
I don't have it. Oh, sorry, not health insurance. Life insurance. I don't have that, but I will have to have it any second now anyway. Because if I want a mortgage,
how does it work?
You pay a certain amount of money dependent on the life coverage you.
Let's talk louder.
Oh, sorry. You pay a certain amount a month dependent on the coverage that you want, and then when you die, there's a lump sum paid out to your closest person relative. So you can take out £1 million policy. I actually found this out the other day. If I was to take out £1 million policy now, which would pay out £1 million when I die, it would cost me £100 a month. Starting at my age.
Oh, so you're paying £100 a month, and then when you die, somebody gets a million.
$1 million.
So it's kind of like a will, but you've saved money, and then when
I mean they
don't have. By the time I die, I wouldn't have spent.
Of course.
Like that money wouldn't have equated to £1 million. That's just.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So it's reliant on stuff
that's why now people end up
age.
People just said like couples get life insurance stuff and that. Then they realise that there's an X amount of peas on their head, so they just try to duppy them. Yeah, that's nuts.
So it's mad. But as in you got like even stuff like wills and stuff like that. I've not even thought about writing a will.
Neither have
I thought about one 3 weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah. And I started thinking, actually, it's getting to that point of life where I'm very aware that stuff does begin to go tits up. Maybe it doesn't go tits up now. It might take 10 years. But as in, eventually it gets to the point where stuff just starts to go a little bit mad, innit? We're not 15 and just playing football all day and there's no worries anymore. Like, unfortunately, every like little decision has like a massive effect on like the future of something, like big butterfly effects now.
Yeah, and when there's kids involved as well.
Exactly.
Like, I guess that's the next thing that, like, I don't know, man.
It's crazy. But the only thing we're guaranteed is death.
Of course. But I think that maybe.
Let me throw a curveball. This same documentary with David Attenborough. They have prophesized that by 2040, they will be able to make it so that you could upload your consciousness to a hard drive.
Yeah, I heard that.
Now, thank God I don't smoke, because if I smoked, Joe, and was in that session, my head would have spun. Listen. So I'm there asking questions. I'm all stopping the voiceover, pressing the button. I'm just like, what do you not mean? What are you talking about? And they're basically saying by 2040, they think that they'll be able to upload your very consciousness to a hard drive. So in essence, you become immortal.
Nah,
but I'm saying?
But your consciousness changes.
Exactly. So I don't know how they're going to do this by 2040. I can barely do airdrop.
Oh.
Let alone, you know what I'm saying?
So hold on a minute. Wait.
Not your subconscious, your consciousness.
Your consciousness. Imagine
all right, look, yeah, so wait, that made me think, yeah.
The best example of it is here.
Hard drive. So, for example...
That external hard drive.
Yeah, so basically, I back my brain up now on that.
Yeah.
But say I don't upload it, say I don't, like, back it up, yeah? When it comes to uploading it or...
Yeah, then you'll come back.
I'm going back.
Yeah. So basically, their thing is that you can upload your consciousness into a new body or a new. Have you watched is it Captain America where it happens?
No.
And they're basically they go into like some kind of cave thing and they're speaking to a computer and the computer's just like, actually, my brain was so smart that they decided they couldn't waste it, so they've uploaded it into this computer. You're speaking to me. It's me. Oh,
that's
you thought
mad.
You told me, but it's me. So like, there's been little things like where they've like shown that it happens, but yeah, they're basically saying you'd be able to be immortal. So your body may die, but they'll just plug your USB in. Probably by
so if we didn't die, say we did go have another 2018 years.
Yeah, you could live.
That would be all of that.
They're saying effectively you'll be immortal. That's what the thing is. They also said that by 2070, they'd be able to bring back somebody's body from a single strand of their DNA. So that person has to be under the age of 45 at current, and that was like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I'd say.
Okay.
So it means that just suppose we live a nice long life and we are alive in 2050. When we die, we might actually have a choice as to whether we die or not.
So as we're about to die?
Yeah, as in like you could, by then the technology might exist to upload your consciousness to a hard drive.
You might not want to upload
exactly.
Anyway,
so
but you might, because you might have brain cancer.
Oh, big man. We don't need this.
I'm just saying, innit?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Oh, as the thing. Okay.
Yeah. That might not be a part. Just be like a fight.
The brain, yeah, that's a physical. That's a physical thing.
Yeah.
But doesn't the physical sometimes start from the mental?
Big man, you're going. I don't know. You need to go chill with them. The way you're thinking, they need you.
If I smoked a zoot, blood, we'd be going all over. We'd be going all over the place. But yeah, to me, all of that, I don't know, bro.
Basically, you see, like I'm saying that death is like something it's inevitable for all of us.
Yeah.
They're saying after a
not
certain
necessarily.
year, it might not even be.
I don't know if I want all of that.
We might all exist in a cloud.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, see, in a cloud.
Somewhere in
exactly.
Yeah, that's all mad. And then the wrong person gets hold of that, and then all of it. Do you know what? I don't even know if I want all of that.
Nah,
I'm kind of. You know what? I don't want to die.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
But I am curious to know what happens when you do.
Well, I've heard dying is an amazing experience.
How?
As in, not like that. Not like that. I don't want people to fucking think like that. But as in, basically, they say, you see, like when a lion or a cheetah chases after a gazelle, but latches onto the gazelle's neck and kills it.
Yeah.
They've measured the blood. The serotonin in the blood. At that moment, they say it's through the roof. Like
really, it's like a release.
Like the biggest.
Yeah, like you've bust the biggest.
The biggest.
Yeah.
That's the clip.
That is nuts. Literally.
Yeah.
But oh mate.
So
you know
what?
What?
They're saying it's an adventure.
Yeah, that's the part. That's the part that I'm really curious about. Because there's all this, you know what, there's all of this like old school talk about, you know, this man said that he's coming, he's representing this person. And I always just think, and this usually comes from religion, and I always just think that like, if somebody said that today, that would be classified as schizophrenia.
Yeah.
100%.
So I could imagine that back then schizophrenia wasn't an epidemic or wasn't a thing that people talked. It was a taboo.
Oh, yeah.
You hear what I'm saying? Like that, like it's like mental health in Jamaica, for example. It's not something that they particularly cater to or talk about or whatever it is, you're just considered mad, or you might just be considered a person who's telling the absolute truth. Do you get me? But
it's weird. I was having this conversation with someone yesterday, as in, you see, like, there's some people who are really on the cusp with, like, their ideologies, and they're really trying to drive it home, and because of it we call them a little bit, they're tapped, or they're a little bit just a little bit mad.
Tapped.
They're like, as in, like, but you know, the world the world needs people like that, if that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't want to become that person, but I'm very aware that that person is speaking from, like, that person's traveled to somewhere that I've never been, and that's why they're like this. You see what I'm saying? So
like, it's a different, sometimes it's like a different state of consciousness in it as well.
They just see things different, and I think the sooner everyone realizes this world just in general is all against all, the better. It's all against all. So we are never gonna get the, like, perfect society that everyone's going for. It's all against all, and things change. The goalpost moves every few years in terms of what's now important and what's the social norm, and from place to place. Because you get on a plane and travel 5 hours in any direction from here, and their social norms are not the same as ours.
Of course.
So it's just like, just live it. I think a lot of people get too serious.
It's mad interesting still. What I would say is that, which I know that is a lot harder or a lot easier said than done, but you know that element of the celebration of life. So for example, I know, like, when a person dies at a certain age or whatever, even though they might have died suddenly or whatever it is, it's like a celebration of life. Do you get me? Like, they have lived a long life or whatever it may be. And okay, of course you're gonna be sad because you're not gonna see them again or whatever, but ultimately you can really celebrate that time that is there. I've been to some funerals that's like that as well. It's like, obviously the actual ceremony is pretty sad, but then afterwards it's like a proper vibe. Like a proper vibe, because it almost matches that person's character as well. That's that, you know, that's what they would want. Do you get me? But then I know that when it's somebody that has died at a lot younger age, it's a lot more difficult to be able to do that.
It's as if they've been stolen.
Yeah, exactly. But then really, because we don't know what is on the other side, regardless of the age of that person that dies, and regardless of the death that they have experienced or whatnot, it's still a life to celebrate.
Yeah, of course.
Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Funny
it's a strange
one,
one, man. Like, bottom line, as humans, I think we're never gonna know. We'll never get the full picture until we die and see what's on the other side. But the two main driving questions behind humanity for me are, where did we come from, and what happens when we die? Like, where are we going? Where did we come from and where are we going? That's the two principal questions. Everything else in between it is just the different social worlds and everything else that kind of comes with life, and love and fear and all of that kind of stuff. But ultimately, everyone wants to know where we came from and where we're going. I'm
proper curious about the where we're going bit. I lean to the side there's nothing. Like, there's nothing. But then I lean to then I have this other thought of, like, when you actually think about life, it's the weirdest thing.
It's perfect.
Really.
It's amazing.
Like, it's so weird. Like, we live.
Exactly.
It's mad.
Exactly.
We actually just live. So right now, I'm here doing a podcast, communicating, and we're doing this. Because we're just, like,
we're alive.
We're alive and we're living, Now, if we are the only people, if we're not the only things in this universe, there's like a whole different other way of doing stuff, and they would probably look at here and think, right, these lot are out here living. Like, these lot have a life. Like, they're actually just...
it's mental.
The concept of actually living is mad.
This is
which then makes you think about all of the other social constructs and shit that, like, have been installed in us.
So religion's the main one.
Of course.
But for me, religion's it's a bit of a weird one. I grew, like, my dad's side of the family. In fact, I would say I'm quite religious, weirdly.
Is it?
I would say. Or no, I would say spiritual rather than religious. I would say it's definitely but I personally look at this world sometimes and look at it for actually what it is. The fact that I can't believe I'm alive.
I look at it like that.
I'm alive. I can't believe you're alive. I can't believe we're having a convo. Like, bare things that I can't believe this world. And that's what drives me ultimately. Like, even before the whole like drumming Christianity into me or whatever it is, if I had never had that teaching and I actually just looked at it like, wow, I would never be able to think that there's not something that made us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there will never be a point, I don't care what kind of facts they put in front of me, where I believe there is no God. Call it what you want, but as in something bigger than us that made us. There's no way I'll ever believe that there isn't one. Because of how, like, it's, look at this, like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
This face,
bro. I do that, but that's why, like, sometimes even when I go to different countries and stuff like that, because I think exactly the same thing, and then I think we are in our reality, or even in your own reality. So I'm in my own reality, but there are certain things that I see on a daily basis or whatever. I go to a different country and I will literally sit on a wall and I watch
and just
people because they are in their own reality and they are living their life, and it's like, that person has a family or a brother or definitely a mum and dad. Do you get what I'm saying? They have their own obstacles. They have their own happiness and all kinds of stuff. But you know what? They are going to die.
Yeah. We're all
like
die.
Me.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I wish that we could do like the GTA thing where I could come out of my body and just slide into someone else's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
Wild. But yeah, like...
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah. But as in, you see, like, just press
that's
L1.
A big pause still.
Yeah, big, massive pause. That's it. But you see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel a bit mad that I only get to be one person.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never thought before.
I've never thought about being somebody else, but then, naturally, maybe I have, actually, to say the truth. I thought about just to see what it's like.
As in, sometimes I think, like you see, like, for example, like, for most of us, the majority of this world could disappear and nothing would change. Like, if 7 billion people, like, as in, we only know
died?
1,000 people or a few thousand people each. So our world is very much in a very small pocket of the massive world.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? So we wouldn't even realise if the whole of half of that side of the globe disappeared.
That's
because
true.
we live in our little...
Because I think they affect our lives in ways we don't...
Exactly.
Oh, that's true.
So I'm sure they do. I'm certain they do.
1,000%.
We're all connected, 100%. But as in...
And that's through resources and stuff.
Our worlds are very small in, like, the grand scheme of things, but they all, like, really are interlinked between...
What's it? You're 7 handshakes away from anyone else in the world.
Bro, honestly, I think you're 2 now.
Is that what they said?
There used to be 6
7
laws,
handshakes away from anyone else. Explain that to me.
Like, you know someone that knows someone that, like, 7 connections between you and anyone else in the world. I think
it used to be 7. I guarantee now it's like 3.
Yeah.
3? Wow.
Think of anyone in this world, and I guarantee you can make 3 phone calls and get to them. Even a Barack Obama, any of them. Yeah. Trump, I reckon you get 3 phone calls. It should only take you 3.
That's mad.
Might have an auntie in one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She knows, loads.
Cousin in
of course.
Yeah. And then before you know it, you're in China and you know.
It's crazy.
Are we all essentially related in some way?
In all ways.
Is there not necessarily in all ways, but is there a situation where, like, it could only end in one of 3 situations? So, like, we would all, if we traced back all the way back, it would either go to this, or this. Or would it all end up back at this?
I think it all if you're going all the way back and you believe that this world started with 2 people, then you go all the way back to those 2 people. That man and that woman.
I don't know if you're talking about religion in that.
Oh, in a way I am.
That's what religion says, but...
genetically, like, we started from some kind of next cell and whatever. And it's not like suddenly there was 1,000 of us just on this planet.
I don't know how...
I honestly believe it had to...
This is one of the core principal pressures.
So then that means that there was...
Where did we come from?
So that means that there's incest?
Yeah, what do you mean? The world is massive incest. It's just...
Bro, you go back a couple
Yeah, I mean, there's incest now. I know that.
No, but I'm saying in general... Yeah,
but the thing is, with that being said, how much... Bro... This is nuts. My mind, bro.
Oh, because you're probably like my cousin, like my...
No, but just even on that, just even that logic there, which I hear, but, the mum and dad have sex with each other. Yeah. But they're not related, So the kids now...
Are related.
But
they have to have sex with
But they have to have sex with each other. Yeah. Or the dad has to have sex with the daughter or whatever. Yeah. There's a huge chance of disability within that.
Yeah.
So then if that was the case, if it was like that, why is disability not as big or as wide as it actually is?
Yeah, but as in, I'm sure there has to be like a certain. I'm not sure how this happened thousands of years ago, but I'm talking now. For example, those kind of like defects or whatever, I'm sure they happen if you have sex with like your sibling or whatever it is. But
It's got to be very close.
Isn't it you legally can marry your second cousin now?
Yes.
Apparently they say like it's just like those really close genes, like brothers, sisters, maybe even first cousins, that will create like something in a gene pool. I'm not too like well versed on this, but as in, I reckon there must be a reason why you can marry your second cousin and, for example, not your first.
Well, either way, we all die.
But you probably can marry your first. I don't know anymore, man. You could be anything you want nowadays.
But you know what it is?
You do what you want, yeah.
Yeah, of course, you could be a squirrel. But do you know what it is? We actually all die. And the thing is, that just might not be a bad thing. It actually just might not even be a bad thing. But push that to the side, yeah? When you think about it like that, surely it could uplift you in some type of way, because we actually just have life now. So you might as well just fucking...
But I don't think because we're a little bit different here. So in different parts of the world, you'll probably see it differently. We're in London, yeah? Very far city in terms of... When was the last time you just had a spare day?
A spare day, but that's by choice, I'd say.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but the choice it's ours, but I don't think we realise it's ours. So, for example, we work a lot, or I work a lot, and then I'm doing like there's so much things that you're doing throughout a day and throughout a month or whatever it is that you kind of forget to just chill.
That's because of the system that we're in.
I think it's because of the city as well. We're in one of those cities now. If I lived in Mongolia, the chances are I would have a lot more thinking time. There's a lot less protocol and stuff to actually have to do, a lot less things to do. So I do less. You see what I'm saying? Like there's so much here. Like I'll wake up in the morning and I'll do like a school run or whatever, and then I'll go to work, and then actually I've got to do something there and film that, or I've got to do that, and actually I wanted to play football, and there's so much. You spend so much time doing stuff that you forget how to not do stuff, if that makes sense. So I think it's like we lose the time to celebrate life a lot of times, even though that is
maybe that's just because people just don't think about death. Because if you thought about death, right, and you deeped it, then maybe more people might think to themselves, I need to make some more time to just enjoy some of this shit, because I'm not going to be able to enjoy it with you and you forever.
Exactly.
I might not even be able to enjoy it with you tomorrow.
But you see, like, we have these...
That doesn't mean that you're not going to have arguments and all of that. So that's obviously not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that, like, that for me, just thinking about that for me, makes me enjoy things even more.
Yeah.
And I am lucky enough to be able to... I'm self-employed. So obviously there's ups and downs with that, because obviously when you're working, you get paid. When you're not working, you're not getting paid, and all of that type of stuff, which then ultimately gives me an element of freedom to be able to say, tomorrow, actually, I don't want to do nothing.
Yeah, but how hard is it, or was it, or has it been to break that thing? I used to have a problem with saying no to work, because I thought, if I say no to work, then I don't get the peace.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then you almost have to work out that the time is way more important than the peace.
Yeah.
Even like holidays. I didn't go on holidays for like 2 years.
I missed enough holidays. Two of my close friends went to Thailand. I never went because I was scared.
Because then you start thinking, I either go and spend a couple grand, or I stay and make a couple grand, and it's like a $4,000 difference in those two different.
But you know what it is?
What I'm saying?
Exactly. But you know what it is, when you look back, you don't think, rah, I saved a couple of grand. You look back and you say, man went Thailand.
Exactly.